Hello everybody, welcome back to Screenstars. Welcome to my Blu-ray collection update video for April 2022. Right, we'll get straight into it because I have actually picked up a few more things than I intended to this month. It always turns out like that, I suppose. But I'm really delighted, certainly with some of the things I've picked up this month. Some of them I've been after for quite a while, and I will even show you a costume of sorts I have picked myself up for. There's an event in Halifax where I live called Halicon. It's Halifax's version of Comic-Con, I suppose. It's not the best. They do get celebrities where you can get autographs and things. They even had Colin Baker from Doctor Who a couple of years ago, people like that. It isn't anything special, but the reason why I like it is they've got loads of like good DVDs and Blu-rays you can pick up, and loads of figures and collectibles you can pick up. So I'm going with my son. We've got our tickets booked. He's going to go as Michael Myers, and I'm going to go, well, I'll show you in a bit. Right, so the first thing I'm going to show you is I'll show you some of the Blu-rays that I've picked up, and then I've got some box sets and things like that to show you. So the first one I've picked up, and this has just been released just a few days ago, I think it was. I've added it to the collection. It is Moonfall, the Roland Emmerich film that was recently released that was lambasted by everybody. Honestly, I quite enjoyed it. And I promise you, if you go into watching this film and click your brain off, you'll have a pretty good time as well. It is nowhere near as bad as some critics would have you believe. The next thing I have picked up, and I have already done a classic review for this on the channel, I have picked up the 20th anniversary edition of Jerry Maguire in the slipcase. It's got some really good extras on it, this, and then it also has as well, it comes with the Blu-ray and the motion picture CD soundtrack, and it also comes with this nice booklet, The Things We Do and Do Not Say, which is the memo that Tom Cruise does in the film. So it's a nice little booklet with loads of like nice things in it and all that kind of stuff, behind the scenes information about the film and what have you. One of my favourite Tom Cruise films, really good film overall. And if you want to check out my review, excuse me, I did do a classic review for this a couple of weeks ago now on the channel. The next thing I've picked up, I've been after this for so long, I can't tell you how long I've been after this. And the prices for this Blu-ray were astronomical for a long, long time. And it eventually has turned up. It was Music Magpie. And it was still quite pricey when you consider the Music Magpie prices anyway. But when you consider some of the other prices that this has been going for, I picked it up for, I think it was just under £10. It is Eddie Murphy's Life. Trying to find a Region 2 release of this for a reasonable price is nigh on impossible. Definitely, I think when I did my top 10 Eddie Murphy films, I'm sure I put this at number 1. If it wasn't at number 1, it was definitely top 3, but I suspect I put it as number 1 because I just adore this film. I think it's absolutely brilliant. So I've been after this for years, if I'm honest, on Blu-ray, but I just wouldn't pay the prices that some places were asking for it. The next one, I've got 2 Arrow releases to show you now. The first one is Dune, the Blu-ray Arrow release. Fortunately, it doesn't come with the booklet because I didn't get it early enough. But it obviously it comes with the Blu-ray inside and all that kind of stuff. And as per usual with Arrow releases, you get the alternate slip, the cover on the other side. I actually prefer this one that they give us. I think it's absolutely stunning cover. This is obviously not the Denis Villeneuve one, it's the David Lynch 1984 version of Dune, but really pleased to add that to my Arrow collection. And another one that I'm adding to my Arrow collection, and this has its own separate unboxing video on the channel, mainly because this is a brand new Arrow release and I picked this up early enough to get the collectible booklet inside it. And it is Mary Shelley's Frankenstein, the Kenneth Branagh, Robert De Niro version. I still haven't had time to watch this yet, but I do intend to watch it and do a classic review for it. I actually think this is a really underrated film. So if you want to see a more detailed video on this, there is an unboxing on the channel that I'll have a link above here, if I can remember, or at the end of the this video on the end clips. Right, the next one I'm going to show you is a collectible like box set, and again this has its own separate video on the channel, so I'm not going to unbox it again here. If you want to see this in more detail, go and watch the separate unboxing of this. It is the Sin City, what's it called again? The Ultimate Killer Edition. Honestly guys, this has got some absolutely brilliant stuff in it. Pick this up really cheap on eBay. This goes for a pretty hefty price in a lot of places, and I managed to pick this up at a reasonable price. I was really pleased. Comes with both Sin City and the second Sin City, A Dame to Kill For, and loads of other goodies as well. So if you're interested, check out that video where I unbox that. Another box set I have got is the complete first and second seasons. Now, for those of you who don't know, and I suspect many of you watching this will, V was initially a miniseries that was released in the 1980s. In my opinion, it's the greatest miniseries of all time. I just absolutely love it. I do have that on DVD, and I will upgrade that to Blu-ray when the prices come down. And then, a few years ago, they brought it back, V, as a TV series. You might recognise that lady there. That's what's she called, Monica, I can't remember her name now, you know, from the Deadpool films, things like that. And it only ran for 2 seasons. I was really disappointed. I actually quite enjoyed this, but it obviously wasn't getting enough viewers, and they just ran it for 2 seasons, which was a bit of a shame, especially because the cliffhanger at the end of the second season had Mark Singer returning. So yeah, it's a bit of a curious one, this one. It was a shame it didn't run for more, but, you know, I'm happy to add it to the collection. The next box set that I picked up, again, I've been busy with the unboxings this month, guys. This has its own unboxing video. I picked this up for a really good price as well, brand new, still sealed, and it is Star Trek, the original series, The Full Journey. So there you go, guys. That's got all 3 series of the original series of Star Trek, you know, the show from the 60s. Big fan. I've never owned this on VHS, DVD or Blu-ray in the past. I don't know why, because I'm such a big fan of Star Trek, but I've certainly got it now, and I'm looking to hopefully pick the others up. The next box set is another one that I'm quite ashamed to say I've not had in my collection. Well, certainly not in Blu-ray anyway. Classic westerns, classic Clint Eastwood westerns, The Man with No Name trilogy. So in here we get, in the box, we get a fistful of dollars, a few dollars more, and of course the good, the bad, and the ugly. Brilliant westerns, brilliant films, iconic, really put Clint Eastwood on the map, and I'm absolutely delighted to have them in the collection. I will definitely be watching and reviewing them at some point. And the last box set that I picked up is this, and it was really cheap in CX, I believe it was. I think it was £4, something like that. Ouija and Ouija Origin of Evil. Now, Ouija, the first one, wasn't particularly well received, but the second one was directed by Mike Flanagan, if you don't know. So that should tell you the quality of the second film, and it is really quite excellent. But I did rewatch Ouija. I don't know if I reviewed it on the channel, actually, when I rewatched it last year or the year before with my wife, and we both thought it was alright. It wasn't brilliant, but the sequel is definitely very, very good. Right, just on to now the pretty normal Blu-ray pickups, and then I'll show you what I have picked up for my costume of sorts for Halicon. So we've got Minority Report, Tom Cruise in the slipcase. Steven Spielberg directed film. Very, very good. Another. I have a bit of a Tom Cruise month this month. Next one, another Tom Cruise film, The Last Samurai. Brilliant, brilliant film. Directed by Edward Zwick. Yeah, I think that's 3 films this month I've picked up a Tom Cruise. Pick this up. Happy Death Day. Pretty good horror film. Groundhog Day style horror film. And pick this up at the same time at CEX. They were both there at the same time, so I got them both. Happy Death Day to You. I don't think it's as good as the first one, but the sequels go, from what I remember, it's alright. Certainly worth picking up if you got the first one. Anyway. Oh gosh, another Tom Cruise film. God, didn't realise. It really is a Tom Cruise themed month, this one. Collateral. What a good film this is. Tom Cruise playing a baddie. And he does it really, really well. Michael Mann directed film with Jamie Foxx. Excellent film. The next one. The film that spawned the TV series Airwolf the movie. Now, those of you who are familiar with the TV show, this was the pilot, I suppose, for the TV show, but it was actually you can see there it's an 18 certificate. It was quite a violent film from what I remember. I haven't seen it for a long, long time, so I think it was edited pretty cut to pieces, I think, so it could be aired for TV, certainly. I don't remember if this was ever a cinema release or if it was just a TV release. I can't honestly remember, but I do remember this being a bit of an anomaly when you compare it to the TV show that was like made for families, really. Airwolf the movie is definitely a bit of a shock, really, in regards to violence and things like that. And the last thing I've picked up, for me, 2 absolutely incredible performances. One of them got the Oscar. It is Philadelphia. Tom Hanks, Denzel Washington. Not much to say on that, really. It's, hard-hitting stuff. If you like courtroom dramas and you've never seen it, you'll enjoy this, trust me. But the subject matter is pretty heavy, for sure. Right, so that's everything that I have picked up this month, I believe. There's a couple more that I'm expecting to be delivered. I have ordered, I think, another 3 things that haven't arrived in time for me to film this. But that's okay, I shall save them for next month. And now I'm going to show you what I have purchased for Halicon to wear. Yes, I know I'm a nerd, but let's be honest, you guys watching this, you're all nerds as well. You probably want this. It is my Star Trek t-shirt. Now, I got this from Amazon, and I thought it was just a normal t-shirt company with a Star Trek badge printed on it. It arrived, and it's an official Star Trek t-shirt. It's really good quality, and it was on sale in Amazon. And to go with it, guys, I have picked up this. The Star Trek communicator. So I'm going to be all set to get beamed up to Halicon next month. This communicator came in this little box. It's got a little booklet and stuff. It's absolutely brilliant. It has got another setting. You could press that. It does all that, but it doesn't shut up for ages, that one, so I'm not as keen on that one. But yeah, it's from the same company. You see that Enterprise behind me? I'll get it and show it you. It's from the same company that I got this Enterprise from. And you can buy these on eBay for less than on Amazon for less than a tenner. This lights up, this Enterprise. Again, this comes with a little booklet. I just think they're a really, really cool value. They look nice on the display. And obviously I will make use of that communicator at Halicon and look a right dweeb, I'm sure, but I don't care. So thank you very much for watching, guys. Let me know if there's anything that I've shown you that you're looking to pick up yourself. And of course, I'll be back next month with another update video, and in the meantime, loads more reviews and content on the channel. So thank you very much for watching, everybody.